Welcome back to the Romanian River channel and my playthrough of Dwarf Fortress. Now that we've dug a decent enough grave for our dwarves, let's see about making them some nice rooms in which to lose their sanity. Okay, so that should be good enough for a main entrance. Let's extend it a wee bit more out here and off to the side. How much space we have here? Sufficient for workshops, but not sufficient for anything else. So I'm gonna go like this. That's gonna be 1. Two. Well, actually, we should have set this guy a bit back, but oh well. So this guy has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, this is 5. Yeah. They're not exactly identical, but they are identical in terms of capacity. One's gonna be wood, one's gonna be stone. Then we also gonna put here our crafts dwarf location, and if we can squeeze it in, also our boiler. We're gonna think what else we're gonna put there as need arises, basically. Now on this side, can we squeeze it in there? I think we should squeeze it in there so we leave this side for residential areas. We need a decent sized banquet area, because we're not going to be building a new one for quite some time. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd say that's adequate enough. Let me just count the bricks again. Spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. This, kids, is why I don't design stuff when you're half asleep. Why am I doing this at evening? Well, because as one particularly interesting neighbor decided it's a good day to start drilling holes in their walls. So for about 3 hours today I couldn't do shit, even though I had planned to do recordings. Cue me being extremely happy. No, not actually here. Here will be adequate. We're gonna eventually smooth out the stone so it looks even sexier, but for now, just having the area more or less complete should be quite good. Now around here we're gonna have the entrance by which dwarves can get their food. 1, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should be a good enough area for food storage, at least to start with. These are the workshop spaces for, well, brewery, butcher, cook, still. What else did we need? Brewer, still, fisher, dwarf area for fishing, fish processing, and so on. I think we're also gonna put the tanner here, so he's close to the butcher. Yeah, that'll do. And now comes the designing nightmare for me. We're gonna leave a small space up there to basically have the option to create a defensive area in case of above ground attack. Problem is, usually what's above ground is easier to, pardon, this is wrongly sized. What's above ground is the least of your problems. The quarters for dwarves don't need to be anything special. This will do quite well for most dwarves. The only ones that tend to bitch and need more are the ones that hold positions. The reason I selected more than very few civilizations is because the specific possibility that you might actually be the only dwarven civilization, in which case one of your dwarves will randomly turn into a king, and the king, to be bloody obvious, is a pain in the canastas because he starts asking for retarded shit. Give me that, give me this. I need a opulent dining area for myself, only for myself. And I also need a luxurious dormitory, or not dormitory, suite. Bitch, if you piss me off enough, I'll throw out the dogs. Struck gemstones. There's gemstones. And Galena, if I'm not mistaken, this was tin. Or something to that degree. Tin or... no, I'm pretty sure it's tin, not brass. Well, let's hope we find copper. Or iron. Preferably iron. That guy's gonna be cranky, but we always know they're at least gonna spend 1 or 2 days sleeping on the floor. That was inevitable. Now, before we get too carried away, like that, then we build like this. No, we did a cock up here. We need 2 thoroughfares, ideally speaking, which means, yeah, this is good. What can we do to fix this particular one? We need to scrap this, extend it somewhat a bit just to get the extra suite in here. Why do we need 7? Because we have 7 dwarves. Quite obvious, really. Remember to press D, dumbass. Okay, so around here we're gonna snip it. Why snip? Well, actually we should snip it sooner. Leave it like that, because the dwarves can't sneak in and start digging. We're just settling in a floor plan for future expansion, basically. The one thing I noticed with the recordings, due to the not so stellar nature of my free recorder, is the fact that these are a bit chrome key shifted. I hope to fix this in editing, but if it can't be fixed, yeah, sorry for that, lads. We have to have plans in place for when the first waves of immigrants start showing up. We don't want to have to build a wall to keep them out. As anybody who's actually played Dwarf Fortress will probably know by now, these are not going to be temporary quarters, at least not for the foreseeable future. People usually dick around with more elaborate stuff than this. If I remember correctly, and I'm not misplacing who it was I watched doing it, Avac actually tried to do at one point a couple of years ago much more elaborate stuff and had plans in place for basically some incredible ass shit I'm not even gonna attempt to replicate. For me, that'll do. Soviet style applications. That's sand, isn't it? Or no, it's not. Orthoclase. If I'm not mistaken, I'll have to check, but I'm pretty sure that's a type of gemstone. If not, we'll see what it gives us. I'm pretty sure it's not anything particular though. We struck another type of gemstone, good as always. They're starting to become much better at it. They're both professionals now, which means they move quite a bit quicker. The main reason I have two specifically designed, well, not specifically designed, specifically targeted miners is because I like to build in large scale, and having just one guy digging all this shit out would have taken forever. It still will take mostly forever, but less so. Galena. So there's a significant galena vein. Very significant. If we have to start importing damn copper, it's gonna be nasty. Hopefully we strike tetrahedrite or something similarly useful below. If not, and this is, as I remember, tin based ore and nothing else of use, then well, tin weaponry is gonna be an interesting thing to deal with. I'll have to check its mechanical properties, because yes, every type of ore and respectively every type of metal has its own properties. If I'm not mistaken, tin will make decent enough armor, all told, by itself. If I'm not misremembering its capabilities of actually being used for such. It could be completely wrong and you can't even make anything with it, but just saying. From a realistic standpoint, you can actually use it for armor and crushing type weapons. I wouldn't trust it much to keep an edge, so in building swords with tin, that's gonna be an interesting dilemma. Good, they're upgrading even more in terms of skill. The first one we're gonna build is gonna be wood. Which reminds me, we should probably chop. Some more wood. Willow is good. Pear we keep, because they're fruit trees, and once you get step ladders, you can use those step ladders to collect fruit. Okay, that should be enough trees if I'm not mistaken. Good. Workshop, mason. Not yet fully excavated. Yeah. Your main mission, should you choose to accept it, build damn doors. a lot of galena. Oh boy. God, I love it when they leave that one chunk unexcavated. Such is the fickleness of Dwarf Fortress dwarves. Gonna be fun when they start actually pulsing and become legendary miners. Thank you. Build, workshop, carpenter. P, stone. Select. You want this forbidden, economic no. Oh, actually forbid and forbid. Basically to collect only stuff that's used only for stone crafting. P, wood, this one's not gonna require any tweaking. Would be nice if the miners actually bloody mined. But actually one way to keep them from doing that, or at least do it quickly, gotta love these dwarves. Dig! You're supposed to bloody dig! This is why plugins like Dwarf Therapist are so useful. That guy fell asleep on logs. Well, 2 nights isn't too bad. Thank God at least they excavated the crafting area. Would have been hilarious if they didn't. There goes another one. Oh, don't tell me. Oh, for fuck's sake. We were not prepared. Okay, we're gonna need to do this. We need those to start our dining area, which will also be the meeting area. So we got a future dwarf medic. You're a great miner, but a complete imbecile as well. Dabbling dodger. Okay, we're at the 30-minute mark, so we're gonna leave it off here now, gents, because my dwarfs will probably be sleeping on the ground right next to me. So yeah, thank you for watching, and until next time, buff the